Oh my god, this guy's got them all over. Dear God. Man, they're all on fire. Bugger. What the? Why the? You little piece of shit. Stop locking onto him.
That's one less.
Indeed. Alright, you're welcome. Unless there are more. I get the feeling he's gonna get himself killed.
No.
Yes. Alright, there you go, buddy. So let's continue to talk with some fools around here then. What the hell is going on? Everyone's dying. Good God, man. You can't poison zombies, it seems. Good God. Yeah, how do you like this then? Eat it. Enzo.
What do you want? Have you come to pillage here? If so, you're too late.
What happened?
Ever since the undead appeared, we've had looters in the area. So, what do you want?
I want you to stop glitching out on that box.
I have come to fight the undead.
If that is indeed true, you are a brave man. Let me know if you need a weapon. And go talk to Darrow. If anyone knows what's going on, it's him.
Teach me something about being a smith.
So he can teach you smithing.
Can I help you?
This minor problem of the undead has completely shut down our work. Most of the blacksmiths are dead, and I need more steel.
Steel, you say?
Yes, the shipments from the tunnels. You want to help me? Bring me 6 crates of steel, then.
So apparently he's getting steel from the mines. And that makes no sense whatsoever, because steel does not naturally occur in the earth. Steel is produced by mixing iron and carbon, such as coal, and that is not something you just find by digging around in the ground. So that makes no sense. That's one piece of chemical contest. What's the word? I don't know. It's where Pronobite seems to have demonstrated a somewhat confused knowledge of chemistry.
Show me.
I will only sell you that once you have proven your worth.
Evidently, I have not proven my worth. Who dropped the quarterstaff? I don't remember picking that up. I really want to be able to use that sword. Much better than this stupid knife. But I need more strength. Do I have, how much king sorrel do I have? I have 6. Interesting. Ah, so you're Darrow.
Why have you come to this wretched place?
How are things?
Most of the city's fighters have fallen, and the rest of them up and fled. Cowards of men.
What about you?
I come from Beliar. Once we learned what was going on here, we hurried to help.
And what will you do next?
There have been enough dead already. I will not risk my people's lives for an attack. We will protect this city for as long as we can. That is our job.
Is that so?
What can I do to help?
I sent a few men up the mountain. They never came back. Go and see whether any of them are still alive. They raided tunnels as well. The slaves never stood a chance. You had better prepare well so that you will stand a chance. Let me know if there is anything else I can show you.
What about the temple?
That's where the disaster started. That's where the source of evil is. But nobody in their right mind would dare go in there.
If we ever want peace and quiet here, we must attack the temple as well.
You've got a point. Right, you won't have to enter the temple by yourself. But first, the surroundings must be safe.
Would you...
And, so yeah, he can do this.
You aren't...
Goddamn. I would like to be able to do dual wielding, but I don't think I'm gonna really care to invest that kind of strength into it.
I'm gonna have a look at the tunnels.
There are 2 tunnels in the mountain. One of them is directly behind the city. The other one is further east. Take care of yourself.
So he says south. His subtitle said southwest, but his voice said east. In fact, his voice is correct. I'm not sure how they mistranslated the subtitle so bad.
I'm going to take care of that mountain.
Be careful, son of boldness, and look out for my scouts.
So we have to find signs of the scouts and liberate the tunnels in order to get his assurance that the surroundings are safe and that he will provide us support to take down the temple.
So we pay our tribute to Zubin for years, and then what? A few guys who think they are all so smart open up the Great Temple. They open the Great Temple and bring down the wrath of Beliar on all of us. Now I get to pay tribute for the rest of my life to make up for this disaster. Excuse me for being so upset, son of pluckiness, but I find this matter truly distressing.
So I noticed. What exactly happened here?
It was Basir, that son of
Basir!
who opened the temple.
Is that all?
He had 5 keys. Beliar knows where he dug them up. He wanted a divine artifact and promised treasures to his men. Their eyes were sparkling with greed, but Basir betrayed them all in the end.
Tell me more about Basir.
He's paying a high price for the divine artifact. All those who entered the temple are dead, but his
And he
business
doesn't
is
even
not
have it
finished
anymore.
yet. Beliar is furious.
You mean...
Yes, Basir deserves to die.
How can I help?
Will you listen to that? He fights his way through to us and asks how he can help. That is the bravery of a man who fears no peril. It is a true hero speaking.
Never mind. Get to the point.
I implore you, save my city. Slay the undead. Do whatever it takes to lift this curse from us.
All right.
And go talk to Darrow. I am sure he will be able to tell you more. But there is another important issue. A business deal that was entrusted to me.
Tell me about this deal.
We got 10 ore blanks. A delivery from the Orcs. They were destined for Ishtar, but they have been stolen. But I know who the thief is, and I want him to be punished for his nefarious deed. Let him die of thirst under Innos' scorching curse. Let the vultures feast on his eyes.
Yeah, I get the point. I'll see to it. Who is he?
Sugut, one of our own people.
Sugut, we've heard that name.
May Beliar's furious wrath overtake him.
Can you tell me Sugut's whereabouts?
He left the city in the direction of Benarai, and he was not alone.
Not alone?
There was another fellow with him, but I could not make out who he was. But when you find him, make him pay for this crime as well.
First of all, I need to find him. What about the ore blanks?
If you find them, pick them up. Keep them safe and take them to Ishtar.
Sure, I'm willing to walk all that way. For the, heavy implication that I will never actually be able to set foot inside that city.
Can I trade with you?
Why not? Before we die, we can at least take care of some business.
Show me your goods.
And he doesn't really have much, but he does have quite a bit of gold. So we can sell some things to him. Now, this is where more of the whole Ore Blanks quest comes into play. And I don't think we ever really need these, but they are worth quite a lot. I'm just going to keep, I'd say about 50. Whoops, that's much more than 50. There we go. So I don't think we're ever going to need them too much. Now, I did look into, well, I didn't actually look into it. Some people told me, You can raise your reputation with the Hashishin by going to Ishtar and talking to the gatekeeper, which I do remember. It's part of the content mod, and you can, for a fee, you can raise your reputation with the Hashishin in order to get into the city. But it's, I think they said 350,000 gold for 35 reputation. So that's 10,000 gold per reputation point. I don't think we're ever really going to have that much gold, to be honest. But I don't know if I really told people about this, but my intention is to do all 3 endings as part of this walkthrough, just for fun. The quickest ending to get is actually the neutral ending, the Adnos ending. The one that, well, I don't really want to spoil it, even though you all know. But the neutral ending is the easiest to get. And the opposing endings take a lot longer. But the Beliar ending itself is the one that takes the longest, because you have to get your reputation up with the Hashishin at least. All the way up to 75, so you can get into the city of Ishtar and speak with Zubin. Now, we did pick up the teleporter stone. Once again, I forgot to point out when we picked it up, but it is right on the, it's right next to the, like, this pile of grain here. Makes me wonder, what kind of grain do they produce here in the desert? They obviously have a lot of stuff here. I imagine these smaller pans are mostly full of spices. There's some rice. We never actually see anyone growing anything like that, though. So it's kind of interesting. And another thing I did want to point out, they do go into a lot of detail with the aesthetics here in Varant, which is part of why I love it so much. They even have, like, these fans here, which are not, you know, they're not usable in any way, but they're there. They're obviously a luxury item for the sort of social elite of Varant. Now, Sugut. This is where the whole Orblank's quest kicks off. This is where it all starts, and it is a very lengthy, sort of convoluted quest that doesn't really end up as satisfying as it should, but we know that Sugut left in the direction of Benarai. And we got word from Kampa here that he had some Orblanks with him, some pure Orblanks. Whoops. Not some pure Orblanks, I don't think, actually. Just some regular ones. Pure Orblanks are things that I think you can only buy. They're not something you can ever really loot, at least not until some much later. I don't know if I ever really addressed the way the chests work. The unique chests, the metal chests, the heavy chests, and the large chests, I don't think ever have unique loot. They all just have increasingly more valuable loot, but it's just sort of randomly generated from a generic list of potential contents. But chests marked heavy chest and old chest tend to have some more unique stuff. And I believe it's the old chests, well, I can't really remember. It's one of the two that actually will produce some amount of fixed, like, predefined loot, but what it contains depends on how many of that type of chest you've opened before. So it's not that the contents of a specific chest are predefined, it's just that the contents of the chest are defined by how many of that type you've opened before. So it's a list of, say, 1 through 25 or so, however many of those chests even exist. And the first one, whichever one you ever open anywhere in the world, will always have the same contents according to that list. And the next one, wherever else that may be, will always have what's second on the list. And if that makes any sense to you. So, once you've opened up enough of those, it's possible that you may end up finding a pure Orblank in one of them. I really don't remember. I think the information on how that list works is available somewhere on the ether of the internet. Now, there are some nomads here. They're all friendly, so they're not a big deal. This is actually Hurit's small clan here.
Welcome, Wanderer. Come drink some water with us.
That was very friendly of you.
What are you doing here?
We have been hunting, and now we're headed for the oasis. but a few Hashishin have made themselves at home there.
Can you teach me anything?
We share our water, and we share our knowledge.
So these guys are very peaceful, very helpful. Well, not exactly peaceful. They will fight when they stand to benefit from it.
You only get that once you've earned it.
Deathbringer. So that's one of the ultimate bows in this game. Now, he will attack the oasis with you. The oasis, of course, is where all these trees are. But that's actually where Sugut is. And before we kill Sugut, we want to talk to him. We just want to see if we can get some skinny on where he, what he intended with the ore blanks and how many of them he still has. So there's supposed to be 10, and all 10 of those were bound for Ishtar. But those ore blanks have made themselves, have kind of wandered far and wide throughout the extent of Sugut's very botched, cursed, ill-fated business deals with them.
Well, traveler, are you on the run?
Why on the run?
Undead, nomads. There are plenty of reasons to be on the run, but never mind. Drink a bit of water and rest.
You're an awfully friendly outlaw.
What are you doing here?
Me? I'm the boss here. This is my oasis. Well, you know, the nomads are making life difficult for us. They're always ready to attack us. Especially at Hurit. Perhaps you could take care of it.
So we could help out Sugut instead. But even as far as Hashishin goes, I don't think we stand to benefit from killing him for Sugut's sake, since Sugut is an outlaw with his own people.
What needs to be done?
Hurit and his band are lurking nearby. They are waiting to steal our water, so go and wipe them out.
Where do I find Hurit?
Not far from here, in the south. Mostly they hang around ancient
Once again, the subtitles disagree with the voice acting.
You stole the ore blanks.
And so what? What are you going to do about it?
Tell me what you did with the ore blanks.
I sold them a long time ago. Now beat it, otherwise I'll have to hurt you.
Who is your partner?
Ha! He left long ago. He knows every hideout in the desert, and has plenty of friends in Morasul. You'll never find him again.
Morasul, huh?
So what? That won't help you at all. Write it down if you like. He left the city long ago anyway. And don't think you'll learn his name from me, son of simplicity.
Perhaps we do if you are one of those people stupid enough to keep a note that says, destroy this letter as soon as you read it. Which are absurdly common plot devices in games, RPGs such as this. But, so we got some information out of him. We know that his partner at least has contacts in Morasul. And so it stands to reason that he might actually be hiding out somewhere near there. But that's all we can get out of Sugut for the time being, so let's take care of this then.
Let us attack the oasis together.
Fine. We can attack as soon as you're ready.
Let's attack now.
Here we go.
And they're just going straight for the goal. They're not leading you. They're instead just charging on their own. And if you wanted to, you could just kind of, you know, let them do their own thing.
Get out of here!
For some reason, they get angry when you have your weapon drawn. Because their script does not state that they're taking care of this with you, if that makes sense. I don't really know what the proper terminology for it is, but instead, they are going to try and take on the Hashishin on their own, whether you help them or not.
Now you're going to bleed.
So, the way their script interprets it is, you are just some stranger with a weapon standing in their way.
Shouldn't have messed with me.
That's it as far as the Hashishin at the Oasis go.
Hey, you! What are you doing sneaking around?
Bugger off. And here's Sugut himself. And he had 2 ore blanks left on him, so he kind of lied. He did not sell them all. He had not sold them all as of yet. Now where's Hewitt himself? There you are. What? Well, that's annoying. I think I do remember this. There's a bug where for some reason the quest will not actually complete. And so every time you talk to him, their sort of raid segment reinitiates. And so you can never actually complete the quest. Someone clarify me if there's a way to actually get Hurit to reward you for this, because I should like to have a reward for all my trouble. So that's Sugut dealt with. That's the extent of his involvement with this whole deal. He is the one who stole the ore blanks, but he did not actually have anything to do with the undead circumstances at Ben Sala. Instead, the one we have to talk to, or the one who had something... Ooh, I remember these.
There's nothing new here.
So these stone tablets, you can find them just kind of standing around in some places. I think Bakaresh, the ruins around Bakaresh have the largest amount of them you'll ever find, but some other places still have them as well, such as this. I don't really remember where all of them are. Al-Shadim has several as well. These act a lot like
There's nothing new.
The lecterns, the bookshelves in the rest of the game, in that they can teach
I
you
already know that.
they can teach you ancient knowledge, but since we've already read so many of the bookshelves that actually just contain the same stories as these, none of these will teach us too much. I mean, a few of them still will. It's just the ones that are kind of predefined to actually teach us more. There are ogres here. I don't think there are anything special here, but Basir. If you guys remember, Basir is actually all the way up in Montera. He's the one who bragged about the fact that he used to have a divine artifact, and he was bringing it to Montera because he was planning on selling it, but he got robbed by the rebels, who in turn took it to Okara, and in turn gave it to Gorn, who lost it in Gotha, where we picked it up. So we in fact already have the artifact that Basir stole from the temple near Ben Sala. Now, if I remember correctly, we are told to kill Basir, but I think that there's, like, the people in Montera, we can't explain to them that there is a bounty on Basir's head in Varant, so unfortunately, the requirement to kill Basir is extremely difficult to pull off. I'm just going to make sure that there's not something obvious, such as talking to Varric. How did I even remember his name? Making sure there's not something obvious, like talking to Varric about how the Hashishin want Basir dead, to make sure that we don't get in trouble for killing him. Nope. And unless one of the patches or the content mod have actually resolved the dilemma of everyone getting angry at you for killing Basir, then we are going to have a large amount of trouble actually killing him. We can't kill him in the city. We have to find a way to lure him out of the city. But I am going to test to see if we can actually kill him otherwise. Yeah, see, that in fact started the whole liberation segment for this city. So, unfortunately, I don't know if we're even going to be able to get Basir to aggro on us otherwise. What? What is this then? Thork Stole from your construction plan of armor. So be it. Now, unfortunately, we also cannot confront Basir about it.
Would you stop that?
Yeah, there's no way we can get Basir
Stop right there.
to attack us without everyone else following us as well.
Would you stop that?
Alright, this is just fucking irritating. They should have figured out a way to fix this. Now, if I'm lucky, I can actually get him to aggro... No, fuck this. I was hoping that I would be able to aggro him by trying to pickpocket him. I do wonder this. A trade list. It says that he traded with the pirates to get a construction plan for some armor, and I think this was an attempt by the content mod to get a really lengthy, sort of, not really a quest, but sort of a sub-quest. One that doesn't go in a journal, but is still kind of essential. Or not really essential, still a possibility, which is to get that armor plan.
What's wrong, Mora?
But instead he has this, so I don't think that's anything like the armor from the note that we found with Buford. Alright, so the only option I really see being available to you now, since Basir and the rest of the guys won't aggro on you the way that they really should. Like, I don't know why they're not. It's very irritating. So the only option, unfortunately, that we really have now is this ability. A thieving seal is less than half of what we need for that, though. So, killing Basir doesn't seem like it's ever really going to be an option. Unless... Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can do something here. Ah-ha-ha! Turn that off before we get into any more trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you deal with troublesome NPCs when quelling them is not such an easy a task. So yes, I went through the rather convoluted effort to turn on the test mode here. And at least on my computer, it's more difficult than it is normally. And the reason for that is because, for some reason, there's just something on my computer that I have to uninstall anytime I want to use the console, the test console in certain games. Which includes Gothic 3 and Morrowind and Oblivion, which are the only ones I'm aware of now. There might be other games that require it as well, but those are the only three that I regularly have to deal with something, because, like, I don't know what it is, but I have to go into my device manager and uninstall something in order to, because otherwise the console just won't work. But, whatever device it is that I've uninstalled will reinstall itself pretty much as soon as I restart my computer. And I've never noticed a problem with not having it installed, so I don't really know why it's so important and how it interferes with this. But at any rate, that's how we deal with that.
I have dealt with Sugut.
Excellent. Let him stew in Beliar's realm for his sacrilege. You have done a good job, and good work is rewarded with good gold.
The deal is completed. Basir is dead.
And Beliar's power continues to grow. I will see to it that the word gets out.
Okay. Thanks. So I think we earned a little more than that for how troublesome that was, but so be it. Okay, so this mine here ought to be dealt with. As far as I know, we've killed everything in here. God damn, I got hiccups for some reason. But of course, we can mine stuff in here, and we all are also apparently looking for a shipment of steel, which really ought to be iron. That heavy chest is one of them, and I believe there are Yeah, there's 3 here, and the other 3 are in the mine to the east. And this isn't really... There's surprisingly little to mine in this mine. But I guess it's not really necessary at this point. We found more resources than we're ever really going to use. But for an iron mine, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of iron in it. Alright, so whatever, I'm just going to leave it be. It's just more trouble than it's worth. I'm not really earning anything out of all this. In fact, that might have been the only 2 veins we could find. Now, if you want to come up here, there will be more zombies. There isn't really anything of apparent value up here. But we do have to kill a bunch of these things on the way. Crying out loud. So yeah, more zombies, and if you head up this way, we are going to run into an extremely dangerous enemy. Not quite yet, he's actually more towards those trees there. Now these guys do seem to have a weird bug where they won't really come after you. And there are some enemies later, in fact it's Darrow scouts, who also have a very similar bug. They won't come after you unless you get really close. And over there, you can kind of see walking around, he's got a stick on his back, is the enemy in question. He is extremely tough. And in fact, I think we might have, in my memory, having this game on easy difficulty, 1 summon lightning spell will kill him. But we actually might be able to kill him with 1 since our ancient knowledge is so high. But otherwise, on normal difficulty, it's not powerful enough to kill him. He is an undead high priest, and I really wish I could lock onto him. Because these guys are getting in the fucking way. I can't believe I cannot lock onto him, for fuck's sake. Okay, you see how much an uncharged fireball did to me? These guys are ludicrously powerful, and if I could fucking lock onto him, this wouldn't be a problem. But I cannot lock onto him because everything else is... This fucking targeting system is a piece of shit. I hate it so much. Well, let's at least try to get some of the skeletons out of the way. Unfortunately, for him to get close enough for us to hit him, that also puts us at a potential to get hit by him, but I don't think that's really a huge problem. Now, with his health that low, should be able to get him with this. Yes, excellent. The other skeletons have all run off, but all he carries is a quarterstaff, but he is a very powerful enemy. And in fact, the content mod adds a quest where you need to kill all of those guys in Varant. And they only exist in Varant. They don't exist anywhere else. But killing all of them, as I said, is important to a quest that we will actually get in Morasul. So I figured it made sense to take care of one now. I don't know what's over here. I've never actually been this way. I do believe this just kind of... Oh yeah, I remember this. Never mind. That road there just loops right back around to Bakaresh. And once we reach Bakaresh, we'll have quests leading us that way anyway, so it's not a big deal. We'll kind of explore that a bit. And there's a temple of Bakaresh itself. So it's really not all that far from Ben Sala at all. It's just that this sort of sheared cliff face here is a pretty substantial obstacle.